I was traumatised by my week 6 make on the Great British Sewing Bee Kids Week where I made the ringmaster costume, so I thought I'd try and redeem myself for a job that I had coming up. Let's get it. Obviously I wouldn't fit into a kid's version of this, so I'm making an adult version because the theme for this event was circus. I found this fake leather in Barry's fabric store in Birmingham and it's closing down, so everything was on sale and I think it was 50% off. So when I saw it I thought, I'm having that. Now that I've got all my pattern pieces cut out for the top, I moved on to cutting the lining out. I've got a little voice note of Kaz from the Sewing Bee there. People ask me all the time if we really do stay in touch as much as we say we do, and we absolutely do. Daily occurrence, our group chat pops up every day. Now that all the panel pieces and the lining is cut out, I fired up Bob & Williams, my industrial sewing machine, and got those pattern pieces sewn together. Usually leatherette sticks under the foot of the sewing machine, but I've got a special one that's got a little wheel in that helps pull that sticky fabric through. If you just have a tabletop, I would suggest using your nylon foot, which is usually a white plastic foot. I'm now placing the lining and the fabric face together and clipping that in place, and then I'm going to sew around all the outside edges, leaving a gap so I can pull it through. But before you pull it through, you've got to snip all the edges really close to the sewing line so that when you do pull it through, it lies flatter because you've taken all that bulk out. I then did a little bit of top stitching, but I totally forgot to film it, so you're just going to have to trust me. This is me now making the tails for the coat. Once I'd cut the tails out for the coat, I realised once I was cutting the lining out of gold satin that I'd made no bias binding and I'd not trimmed the first part. So I went back and bias binded all the sides. I then used pins to keep the tails in place while I sewed it down. Adding the tails on, everything was pretty much constructed at this point. I just had to add some embellishment and a zip in the front and it was ready for the event. I was working with one of my besties, Sally, on this day and she was more than happy to take part in the end of this TikTok. By no stretch of the imagination was this the perfect make, but it did the job for the day and I'm really happy with how it fit. Follow along for more.